Welcome back for another mock draft as we're using the current draft order as of after Sunday Night Football. And yes, the Chicago Bears still hold the first two picks. Thank you, Carolina Panthers. But we'll solve that in a sec. What's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So go ahead, become bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content as always. Let me know what you think in the comment section below where we have that nice beautiful football discourse. Now, as far as I think, it's still kind of 50-50. Do you sit here as the Chicago Bears, take Caleb Williams or Drake Maye, and just ship off Justin Fields, or you just get a Keen's ransom for this first overall pick and build around Justin Fields? Well, we did a trade last week. We're going to do a trade again this week, this time with a different team, just to experiment different scenarios. Remember, the mock drafts, they're used to highlight players and experiment with possibilities. And we're going to be trading that Chicago pick today with the New England Patriots. What a trade might look like between these two teams, I imagine 3 first-round picks, maybe a couple of day 2 picks, and maybe an expiring contract like a Michael Owenu. We could talk about Christian Barmore, Joshua Uche, just to kind of sweeten the pot for the Bears to maybe get to extend. But we're just going to go ahead and push this trade through, start this draft. New England Patriots, we are first on the clock. And we're actually going to go ahead and take Caleb Williams. I know Caleb Williams, he had the rough game yesterday against Notre Dame, but great prospects will have bad games. I think Peyton Manning had a bad game his final year with Tennessee. I won't think too much of it. For me, he's still the first overall prospect. I think Drake Maye is doing a good job of kind of, let's just say, catching up. But I mean, Maye firmly quarterback 2, but now there is going to be some discussion there at who may be quarterback 1 in this class. Drake Maye is closing the distance, so to speak. But now we're here with the Chicago Bears. Let's just go ahead. Marvin Harrison Jr., pair him up with DJ Moore. That's awesome. Now you have these phenomenal weapons for Justin Fields. Denver Broncos. Apparently, I don't want to say that the Broncos can get out of Russell Wilson's deal, because that's not telling the whole truth. They're going to be eating a whole lot of dead money, but at some certain point they could eat less dead money. I think it'll be around like the $37 million range. I think it's maybe like a post June 1st thing next year. I'm not entirely positive. Don't quote me on it. I just heard it's possible. Sean Payton's probably like, cool, I'm going to blow this thing up, get my quarterback of the future, and we're going to grab Drake Maye for the Denver Broncos. Arizona Cardinals, I actually thought long and hard about this pick. I was thinking, because I really want to get defense for the Cardinals, but we could have some fun here. We could have some real fun. So the current OC there with the Cardinals, got Petzing, formerly Kevin Stefanski, or was worked under Kevin Stefanski. They like running a lot of 12 personnel. You could probably want to get off of Zach Ertz's contract. Brock Bowers, phenomenal prospect that could not only play in line, but he could play in the slot. He could play out wide. Like, I know, oh no, Kyle Pitts alert. Oh, you're going to be taking a tight end at 4. You saw how that did the Falcons. Well, Arthur Smith's offense is a little bit different than what they got going on currently with the Cardinals, and they get their tight end a bit more involved. Though, to be fair, Arthur Smith, I think the last couple of weeks they've done a good job of getting Kyle Pitts involved in that offense. On to the New York Giants. Your offensive line sucks. Go ahead, grab the best offensive tackle prospect on the board. For me, I do like me some Joe Alt. I'm going to go with Olu Fashanu for this pick. He's having a phenomenal season. And now we're back here with the Chicago Bears. And again, another pick where I had to think long and hard about. I could get Joe Alt, just go ahead, repurpose the offensive line, Braxton Jones, good swing tackle. Or you can work on that defense. That's kind of atrocious. You'll be the first team to take a defensive player in this draft. And I think that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to go with Jared first. For me, he is probably still going to be edge one. He's been pretty productive since the Clemson game. And yeah, man, this dude's stupid explosive, jacked to the gill. Love to see it. Very good just overall. Listen, I know you love the NFL draft as much as I do, and you're going to want a nice hefty watch list of players during this college football season. Well, go ahead, check out my draft guide. You can purchase it for only $30 by Venmoing or PayPaling me. Links in the description. It's a one-time payment and you get it for this whole draft cycle and forever and always. Technically, it's a Google spreadsheet. So send me your email when you send the payment. I'll get you hooked up. You will see my current prospect rankings and big board, my full evals. And guess what? It updates throughout the whole draft cycle. So it's a great purchase and it's a great way to support the channel. Then the Minnesota Vikings. Kirk Cousins, free agent, feels like this has to be a quarterback. Now, if you haven't seen my quarterback rankings video, I have Bo Nix as QB3. Still, this is for me a bit early for the next quarterback on the board, though quarterbacks, in terms of value, you're probably going to take quarterback 3 at this position. But I'm going to go with actually Michael Penix Jr., the guy that just beat Bo Nix. Full disclosure, I still have Bo Nix ahead of Michael Penix Jr., but he got the win this week. Let's give him a little shine. Can you imagine him just constantly going deep? The likes of Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson. Oh, love it. Tennessee Titans. Now, I often go either wide receiver, tackle, but I think there's other areas you could definitely look at here, especially with only one defensive player being off the board. You look at that corner position for the Tennessee Titans, and their best corner currently, Sean Murphy-Bunting, is a free agent after the season. Christian Fulton can't stay healthy. And what else you got there? Caleb Farley can't stay healthy. You got to do something about the corner position. So I'm going to go with corner here. My top guy is Kool-Aid McKinstry. I do have my cornerback rankings video updated out for y'all if you want to go check that out as well. The Green Bay Packers. Well, I mean, Joe Alt is on the board. So when in Rome, David Bakhtiari probably played his last snap for the Packers. You kind of got to start thinking about what you want to do there. Left tackle is Rasheed Walker, the guy. Let's go ahead and grab Alt. Alt's a great choice. I don't mind going quarterback here for the New Orleans Saints because, I mean, okay, maybe they stick with Derek Carr. Let's go with that. And this one, I think, is a bit more of an out of the box pick here, because I think they could get out of they could free themselves from Michael Thomas's contract after this season. So if you're looking for a big wide receiver with great hands, pair up with your Rashid Shaheed, your Chris Olave, well, Keon Coleman is kind of that guy. So again, a little bit of a different pick here for the Saints. Atlanta Falcons. Are we going to go quarterback? Because Desmond Ridder, in my opinion, he's probably not it. Well, first, let's go ahead and give a shout out to Underdog Fantasy. Thank you for being the sponsor of the video. When you use promo code Broshmo at Underdog Fantasy, they will match that first deposit up to $100 dues. That means when you sign up, use promo code Broshmo. Your first deposit, it's $50. They're going to give you $100 to play with. If it's $100, they're going to give you $200 to play with. It's the best place to play weekly best ball. Or you could do the player prop bets, higher and lower. Those are a ton of fun, and we have a whole segment dedicated to that in my predictions video called Gojo's Picks of the Week. But remember, as always, bet responsibly, my friends. The Atlanta Falcons, their pass rush, PP poo poo. I'm going to go with Lee Latu. Did get kind of he for the most part got shut down as one pressure came against the left tackle, and we'll talk about the right tackle for Oregon State in a little bit. But Latu, I think, is one of the best finesse rushers. I think he's got a pretty darn good toolbox of pass rush moves to help Atlanta get that pressure on the quarterback. All right, I'm sitting here with the Arizona Cardinals. I took Brock Bowers. Might not be sexy for some people. Well, it's not going to get sexier, or it might, depending on how you feel about the defensive interior. I am a big fan of Jazon Newton. He can immediately come in and be that penetrator from the interior, along with being a very good run stuffer. I think these are quality picks there for the Arizona Cardinals to start that rebuild. Ideally, yeah, you want maybe edge and corner, but hey, you gotta let the draft come to you. They still will have free agency, so they could take care of maybe some of those areas. Indianapolis Colts, I think I made this pick maybe last week or a couple of weeks ago, but I like the idea of getting a superstar to pair up with Michael Pittman that can be that field stretcher that takes advantage of that big arm you have in Anthony Richardson. I don't know if you saw the Oregon-Washington game, but Rome Odunze had one heck of a game. The dude's got size, he's got speed, he's got length, and the contested catch, so much better this season. So much better. So I'm going to snag him here. Remember, really good receiver class currently. All right, Las Vegas. Jimmy G at this point can't stay healthy. You need a quarterback that can. I'm going Bo Nix. La-di-da. There you go. I like it. Plug and play. Washington Commanders, the tackle position. I think both tackle positions you probably want to look at upgrading those, but you'll likely want to get off Charles Leno's contract. They just signed Andrew Wiley. I'm going to go with Armarius Mims. I'm pretty high on him. He's currently out injured, but he had a stupid impressive playoff games there against Ohio State and then against TCU. I think when he returns, he'll get back into that top offensive tackle conversation. So I'm going to snag him here for the Commanders. And then the Jets. Not a lot of big needs for the Jets outside of the offensive line, and Joe Douglas loves him the trenches. Matter of fact, so does Robert Saleh. And this is a cat that's going to be making his first introduction to my my mock drafts, and it's going to be where you at? Felice Fuaga, who shut down all the pass rushers from UCLA, because it's not just Liatu Latu. You got the Murphy twins. He is having a hell of a year. He is putting it together as a pass protector. And honestly, he's kind of the style that I think the Jets would love. This you could keep Fuaga at right tackle, and you could kick Elijah Vera Tucker out to left tackle, where he's done that before. This guy's shown he can play all over the offensive line. Or you could keep him at guard. I think regardless, offensive tackle is kind of the call here. All right, seeing offensive tackles go off the board back to back. Cincinnati, I kind of want to just take who I think might be the best player on the board, and especially with T. Higgins potentially free agent. I don't think that's a lot of money. They're going to be tied up with two receivers and a quarterback. And with how gifted this wide receiver class is, I think you could go with that position. And I'm going to go with Malik Neighbors. Give them this after the catch threat. This guy that can separate vertically. He can attack all levels of the field. And it's Joe Burrow throwing to another LSU wide receiver. Who doesn't love that? Los Angeles Chargers. I like the idea of them addressing the secondary. Plain and simple. Secondary hasn't been particularly good this year. They moved on from J.C. Jackson. Michael Davis isn't playing well. I think getting Cooper Kupp, who they listed as safety because, quite frankly, I think he could play outside. He could play in the slot. He could play deep. He could play inside. Like, he could play wherever that defensive backfield gives you versatility. I like it. Matter of fact, I love it. Los Angeles Rams did think about maybe, like, the offense tackle would be fun here. Be fun because they need it. Their offensive line sucks. But I think I'm just going to go with edge, get some more pass rush help. They really have Byron Young, and that's about it. Like, on the outside, obviously they got Aaron Donald, but it's basically Aaron Donald and friends at this point with the defense. So I'm going to go with Dallas Turner. Get one of the most explosive edge rushers in this class. Then at pick 20, the Houston Texans. You know what? You know what would help make this decision easy? Because I love taking Drazon Newton here, but he's not available. What would make this pick easy if, like, I don't know, if I could get someone that my new franchise quarterback maybe played with last season? Oh, wait. Hold on. Emeka Egbuka's on the board. Now you got your slick route runner to just complement all these great young wide receivers that you have. Ain't that great? I like it. Seattle Seahawks. They're kind of a tough team to pick for, but I think in the end I just went with who was the top player on my board, and that's Cam Kitchens. Cameron Kitchens is legit, has a center fielder potential. He's got a great nose for the football. Throwing him in the back there, you could get off of Diggs' contract. Jamal Adams, you're probably going to want to get off of that. Don't know what his contract currently looks like, but yeah, you could probably add some additions or upgrades, so to speak, at the safety position. So they continue to address the secondary. I like it. The Dallas Cowboys. Now, some people aren't sold on Tyler Smith moving back to left tackle. I think that's silly. I love the idea of Tyler Smith at left tackle. I think where y'all need help is the interior. But let's say Tyler Smith stays at guard, which is, he plays both great. So why not play him at tackle? Whatever. But hey, we're in a good spot to get like a JC Latham here. Throw him there at left tackle. You got Terrence Steele over at right tackle, Tyler Davis at guard. Still have Zach Martin, and then you just gotta kind of figure out your center position if you don't bring back Tyler Biadasz. Pittsburgh Steelers. Well, Joey Porter, give that man more playing time, but he's gonna need more help around him. Levi Wallace is a fine depth option. Patrick Peterson's kind of washed, especially in this type of defense. Needs to go back to a more off coverage, off zone type of defense. But let's pair up Joey Porter Jr. with his former teammate Kalen Campbell. Back in 2022, they were one of the most formidable cornerback duos in all of college football. Buffalo Bills. This may surprise a few people. I was thinking maybe going tackle. I love going tackle. I think Spencer Brown's not great. You could go wide receiver here. If they don't bring back like a Gabe Davis, you could do that. I thought about Chris Jenkins because Daquan Jones is having trouble staying healthy, so he immediately comes in and helps that run defense. But I'm actually gonna go with cornerback help. I think they're gonna want a guy that can play press and is stupid athletic, and I think that's Denzel Burke. You can make a case for Kamari Lasser. I think Denzel Burke's going to test out better, so that's why I went with Burke here. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I could go quarterback, but I'm not going to. You really want your franchise quarterback to be here at the back end of the first round. In a quarterback class this talented, you probably don't care. I'm just going to give you a spoiler. I don't take another quarterback in this draft. But what I can do is help the pass rush. Shaq Barrett's up there in years. He's basically doing it on his own. Joe Tryon hasn't really developed into much outside of probably a rotation player. You got Chop Robinson. Like, this is great value at this point, so I'm going to go ahead and snag him for the Buckaroonies. Oh, Jacksonville Jaguars. So I'm going to just tap into my inner Trent Baalke. Oh, I love physical, athletic freaks. Leonard Taylor, it is. Not used often as a run defender by Miami. They really just use him as a pass rusher, which kind of sucks, is what it is. But he has the highest pass rush win rate of any interior player in this class. Let's do it. Baltimore Ravens. I wouldn't mind going edge, but at this point, I'm looking at like JT Tuipulau and who else? Braylon. There we go. Braylon Trice. So I could go with either of those options because they've been banged up when it comes to their edge rushers. And so you're kind of hoping to get more production. Like, I don't know, man. They could also go corner. I think corner is actually pretty viable because they haven't been great on the outside. Even Marlon Humphrey returning hasn't been his usual self. So just adding more talent to I don't know, the most volatile position in football, the corner position, is always a good answer. And I'm going to go with Nate Wiggins. Phenomenal athlete who does need to put a little more bulk on his body, but he is one of the youngest corners in this class currently. Detroit Lions. I've done Chris Jenkins here. I think I did that last week. It was just kind of take the best player available. I think instead, I am going to get cornerback help, and I think Kamari Lassiter, honestly, here at the back end of the first round is also a solid pick. I actually got him higher than a couple of these guys. You can go check out my cornerback video, but he would be a really good fit to Aaron Glenn's defense. He is that press man guy. My Miami Dolphins. I love giving them a tackle. I really do, because I think Terron Armstead's probably out. A guy that I'm scared might be gone just because I don't know if we could afford to pay him is Christian Wilkins. And we're staring down Chris Jenkins. That's right. Name should look familiar. His daddy played for a long time in the NFL. We're going to go ahead and grab him to kind of be our Christian Wilkins replacement, assuming we can't re-sign him. San Francisco 49ers. I've been doing this pick a lot because I actually really like it. I really like the idea of a Jordan Morgan in this wide zone blocking scheme. He also packs a lot of power in his frame, which would go with that because Kyle Shanahan has been incorporating more and more and more power concepts. So it's just a perfect fit. Kansas City Chiefs. Xavier Worthy would be fun. People would be like, get speed. Oh, they need that speed. And it's like, I mean, we could do that. I think instead, I'm going to look for a replacement for MVS. So I am getting speed, but I'm getting taller, bigger speed in the form of A.D. Mitchell. And then finally, although we've come to the end of the road, I still love this pick. Philadelphia Eagles is a team that could go a variety of different spots. I considered receiver. I looked at guys like Troy Franklin, Xavier Worthy. I don't think Leggett's fit there for him, or at least what they're looking for specifically. I think they're looking for shifty, quick route runners. Thought Tyler Nubbin would be a good fit as well, though they did draft Sidney Brown last season. Reed Blankenship has been a huge draft gem that they found. We can talk about corner, but I feel like a lot of corners have kind of already gone off the board, so I'd be kind of reaching at this point. Mason Smith is kind of this freak athlete that you could make a case for them taking. I think ultimately, though, I'm going to settle on taking JT Tuimoloau. He's having a solid season. By no means is it like this, like he's having like a banger of a year, but he's been very solid. Very solid. He's starting to put it all together. This is a dude with a lot of tools, good athletic ability. He's doing this at like 6'4", 270. So I'm gonna go with him, kind of be the a replacement, because don't they have to eventually pay Milton Williams as well? And then I mean Brandon Graham, he's kind of long in the tooth. So like Tuimoloau, JT, he can function like a Milton Williams, or he could just be another edge you have in the rotation there, because they have played Sweat and Reddick quite a bit. So I mean, if you're the stinking Eagles, you really could take whoever. But that's the draft. Let's go ahead and take a gander at this sucker. I want you to let me know what you think in the comment section below. I thought this was fun. I thought this was different. We did a lot of different things, looked at some potentially different scenarios. There were some new players in there. I thought this was a ton of fun, but let me know what you think in the comment section below. That's it for the video. Do that YouTube thing, but as always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.